let's compare the UK with other countries in this indefinite leave to remain. They use
even Canada. Canada is easier to get.
Yeah,
if you finish a postgraduate study in Canada,
years, you to get
you apply for a permanent residence, and the number of years of your stay in Canada is applied to your.
It's still counting.
And I tell you for free that the benefits that those who have
more
what you don't get any benefits here as which I definitely live to remember.
Well, my response to that, I remember during my days in the university, one of my political science professors, when he comes to class and he's addressing the class, he say, you see all these professors that come here and tell you when I was in Germany, when I was in Canada, when I was in Australia. Anytime they come here and tell you when I was in Germany, you ask them, is here Germany? So here is UK. If you want to Canada,
you can compare.
Okay, now you've made that point. Okay, let me ask you a question. I know you don't answer questions, but I will obviously ask. Now, okay, let me start with you. Do you know anybody that has migrated, a Nigerian, let me restrict it, that has migrated from UK to Canada? Yes or no?
Yes, I know.
How many?
A few of them.
5, 6, 7, 8, or 10?
Less than 5. I know.
Okay. Do you know any Nigerian that has migrated from Canada to the UK?
No.
Okay. I'll come to you. Do you know any Nigerian that used to live in the UK and has gone to Canada?
Yes.
How many? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Well, I know a few.
Do you know?
In fact, I want to use one example to answer your question.
Do you know how many Nigerians do you know that have migrated from Canada to the UK? Now, I ask myself that question. The church I used to go to in Glasgow, half of that church left UK and went to Canada.
Okay.
Half of that church.
They are Nigerians.
They bought houses in the UK. I'm telling you, Nigeria is a Nigerian church. I don't want to mention the name.
Well,
move to Canada. And you know the funny thing? I'll tell my wife. They will come to the church and say, "Oh, thank God, the Lord spoke to me, and God has called me to migrate to Canada." I tell my wife, forget these people. God is not calling them to migrate to Iran or to Iraq or migrate back to Nigeria. It's only Canada and the US that God is telling them to migrate to. So forget those people. That's economic migration. They got another job there and they feel that place is better and they left. So back to what I'm saying. I don't know any Nigerian that has made that journey from Canada or US to the UK.
So what I'm
trying to say is that the benefit there is better than here.
Well, I have a few examples, both Nigerian and non-Nigerians. I know somebody personally who moved from the UK to Canada.
Yeah.
Lived in Canada 1 year, 2 years, moved back to the UK.
That's an exceptional case.
Oh, well. You may take it as an exceptional case, but this is...
that's 1 in a million.
Yeah. That's 1 in a million. So how many do... Okay, now tell us, how many you know that moved from...
Apart from this...
That moved from number, UK to Canada.
I don't know anybody. There is nobody I know that have moved from UK to Canada.
You don't know anybody?
Yeah.
I can tell you,
I know so many.
Aside what I mentioned to you,
but I have not seen anybody from Canada to UK.
No way. Have you seen somebody from US to UK?
No, but I've seen from UK to US.
Many. My brother-in-law, my wife's younger brother.
You don't like seeing somebody from UK to Nigeria. You have not seen. But you can see somebody from Nigeria to UK.
So
well, there is I know it's not, there are things we say on air and there are things we don't say on air. I know for people that move from UK to US and they've not come back to UK, there is a question to that. But let's
what kind of question?
Well, if you look at what President Donald Trump is doing in the US currently, it will tell you why. Because most of them, they go there, they become illegal.
Well,
and when they become illegal, they are not able to travel.
If you're illegal immigrants are not acceptable in any country.
Yeah, so that's a different... I'm talking about people who are settled there, who have American passports that migrate to the UK in search of greener pasture.
Because if you are looking at UK, apart from migrants from other countries, right? Let's look at migration between UK and Canada. You have a lot of Canadians migrate to UK, and you have a lot of UK.
I don't believe that.
You need to check the statistics.
No way.
If you, like Scotland is one of the beautiful places that Americans, Canadians likes to come and reside.
They come here. They come here on holidays, not migrating. Let me tell you, the earning capacity, the tax, you can't compare. The houses, the cars, everything is bigger, more spacious, more
luxurious.
more luxurious. So why would somebody leave heaven to come to hell?
Well,
I say it again. I'm going to say it on air. One of the worst mistakes I made is staying back in the UK.
Why do you say that?
If I have my options, we are much younger, I won't be here.
But you are still a young man.
Well, at what age?
yeah.
At what age? That's one of the regrets I have. Staying back in the UK.
Are you telling me that?
Yes, I would have either gone to the US or gone to Canada.
Okay.
Do you know, like
That's just it. The only thing that was if I had initially, I said it at the beginning. My initial plan was not to stay back in the West. It wasn't in my agenda. So when I went to Nigeria, something happened, a personal circumstance that made me to come back. Yeah. If my plan was to be in the West, it's not staying in the UK.
You could have been in US or Canada
Straight away.
or Iran.
No way, God would not call you to go to Iran.
well, I think the only way I want to respond to that is I'm not this good at comparing UK and US or Canada, which one is better. UK is UK, Canada is Canada, US is US, Germany is Germany, Australia is Australia.
They have different
Ghana is Ghana. There is something that makes UK what UK is. There is something that makes US what US is. There is something, so I wouldn't, compare, with bias, or that this person has better option than this person. We all, in economics, there's something we call comparative advantage.
Yeah.
So every section have their own strength.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. At least I will always say, wherever you live, there is something you are missing in the other place that you are not living. Whether you can't get it all. You can't get it all. If you are living in Nigeria, there are things you are missing if you are not living in the UK. Then if you are living in the UK, there are loads and loads of things you are missing for not living in Nigeria. At least going out with your friends to hang out and the social life, the communal life, meeting your friends and classmates and so on. Those days when I used to work in Zenith, on Fridays when we close from work, we don't go home straight.
Yeah.
We hang out, and if they call us on phone, we tell them, traffic, we're waiting for traffic on just Adobe Street to clear. While we are there, coming down. So all those kind of things, you miss them.
Well, those kind of life are here. It depends on the circle of friends you've chosen.
No, yeah, but not at that.
There are still people that finish work. There are still people that will finish work. The city center down there.
The city center, but then one of our lecturers told us story those days. Our criminal law lecturer, he said one man every time he goes out to drink and eat nkwobi and oba. So the wife was angry. I said, "Why is it that every time that you are going out, if I had that drink, I'm going to buy all those drinks for you here and make the oba here." So the woman went and did the thing. The man finished the thing. And said that's what he remembered it. That all those his friends, he's meeting them, they're waiting for him.
So it's the fun and the joy.
So it's not only the internet the drinking. So when I go to those cities, first I see there, I will make me angrier.
Yeah, because you don't have that circle of friends that you would always hang out. Because I from my own experience, I know a few friends that if you want to hang out every day of the week, after work we'll go and do 1759. I think that's what it's called in Nigeria.
Yeah, but then
1759.
The thing is that the circle is for if you live in Nigeria, it's easy to get those circle of friends. Like where I work, I don't have friends there that I hang out with after work. Do you get? But in your office, definitely you make friends, and you guys
because of the environment.
Because of the environment, you know them, they know you. You guys, you know their family. You guys go out. Maybe with this day, one person is doing baby dedication, the other day is doing this person is doing Thanksgiving. So those things are very very common. Here, you have to plan it and a kind of really create time for it and make it happen. Like I know somebody that has come from London to this Glasgow. We used to be schoolmates in those days, back in the days. I'm still struggling to find time to go and see him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
okay. We are trying to round up with one question. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to respond to that because I think it's it has to do with individual personality. In terms of like social life, there are people they're in a place. I know there is this culture shock when you go to a new place. But it doesn't mean, and that is where the question of integration comes in. And one good thing about the UK, I will say that, is that the UK encourages multicultural integration. UK have a system.
Hey, this integration you're talking about. Integration you're talking about. Let me tell you something. Last year, I went for work dinner with my colleagues. These people, the kind of things you are talking about,
it's not what
you're talking about. I went there with no disrespect. It's not something I'm used to. The kind of stories they'll be saying, how they grew up, the kind of friends they had in secondary school. I didn't school here. I did only postgraduate study here. So that secondary school experience, a white person is saying, is different from the one you had in, I don't know if you attended one of those Bush grammar schools.
Yeah. But in this case, is get the point where I'm coming from. So the UK, social integration. I wouldn't want us to go, start going, theoretical. But social integration could be vertical or horizontal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you couldn't integrate in the other way, there is every opportunity. I'll give you an example. In Nigeria, there's what we call, when we were at the university, then there's what we call the Borako system.
Mm-hmm.
So where there is opportunity for you to interact with your
local government,
people from your locality. In the UK have a very standardized system where you get those societies or those communities. There is a legal framework, a legal provision that is even through the Charity Commission funds those cultural activities. Like for Nigerians in the UK, you have Yoruba community, Igbo community, and all those things. And the government is not shying away from it. The government comes in, give them that support to ensure that integration, that cross-cultural integration is there. So, for example,
let me continue. We are running out of time. This one, they are legislating the cultural integration, creating a structure. In Nigeria, the cultural integration is there.
No,
you don't have to by the charity.
No, by the system. What they are doing is to enhance it, because they are not asking you to join there or to join there or join there. We find ourselves. I will say, okay, because we are from Nigeria, we are Nigerian community in.
We have such things here now.
Yeah, so you can integrate within that community, and from there you can go to
in Glasgow now we have Igbo welfare group.
Okay,
this is a association that meets once in 2 months. We have the Imo State Union, the Aba State, and they meet once in 2 months. But what I'm telling you, in Nigeria, this happens every day. You don't have to wait for 2 months for it, even though there are still these meetings.
No, the cultural background
they are completely different. So you don't even.
Okay, gentlemen.